there, St. Louis podcast listeners. We've got some exciting news from our sponsor, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Lee. Mark Lee of Farmers Insurance is recruiting agency owners here in St. Louis.
That's right, Garrett, and everyone knows what Farmers Insurance is, and if they don't, they will now.
Yes, it's kind of a household name. That said, as many of you know, a large part of our audience is made up of badass business owners, entrepreneurs, and top producing sales professionals with an open mind like yourself. Farmers Insurance is currently searching for driven individuals who aspire to own their own business or already own their own business and want to add another income stream to join the Farmers Insurance brand and own their own insurance agency.
This is a stellar opportunity to build your own insurance agency from scratch, take over an existing agency, or if you're just a slow roller, we know you the guys out there and ladies, get paid to train under an existing successful agency owner before starting your own.
Holy shit, Eric. That means that whether you have experience as a business owner or you've never heard the word business before in your life, there's a pathway to owning your own business through Farmers Insurance Agency led by Mark Lee.
That's right. You can become a Farmers Insurance business owner even if you've been homeless in the past, just like you.
Yeah, thanks.
If you've ever dreamt of being your own boss, building a team under a reputable brand, and making a difference in your community by offering top-tier auto, home, and commercial insurance to consumers and businesses in your area, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the godlike man himself, Mark Lee, has the perfect opportunity for you.
Visit insurancecareerstl.com to speak with Mark Lee, the district manager of Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, to become a Farmers Insurance agency owner today.
Did you hear that, St. Louis? Go visit insurancecareerstl.com. Insurancecareerstl.com. That is INSURANCE. Career, CAREERSTL.com.
To become a business owner today, again, one more time, visit insurancecareerstl, as in St. Louis.com today, right now, this second, or reach out to us at stlouispodcast.com and we'll introduce you to Mark Lee ourselves. And I promise he won't spell out insurance and career to you.
Now back to the show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the St. Louis Podcast for April 28th, 2023. I'm one of your glorious hosts, Garrett Atkins, the CEO of an award-winning and fastest-growing marketing agency, founder of the studio we're sitting in right now, chairman of a holding company that has equity in multiple home service companies, and writer for Forbes.com via the Forbes Agency Council. And I'm alongside my co-host and business partner across a few of those companies, and the proud owner of a beard so impressive it once won a staring contest against a mountain lion, Eric Brown.
Well, I tell you, I'm beat out by Zach across this table on the beard game, so I'm going to go ahead and give that award up to him.
Yeah, his beard's so long, he's got it in a ponytail today.
It looks kind of like a little rat tail, so I mean, you can keep it.
It looks good. At least you can grow one. Today we have Zach Babcock, the founder of the Underdog Empowerment podcast slash company, which I guess I'll learn more about here in a second on the St. Louis Podcast. And we're going to get into the weeds with him and his business. But before we do, this is the St. Louis Podcast, where each and every Friday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, we drop an episode on all major podcasting, audio, and video platforms such as Spotify, Apple, YouTube, major social media platforms, and more, where we meet with the most badass people and creators to talk about business, entrepreneurship, and controversial current events. You can watch the show live or later on youtube.com/the St. Louis Podcast, just like Katie Baker and Matt Parker are right now. Now let's jump into it. Zach, how are you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm doing excellent, dude. That was quite the intro there. I love how you got it set up, and thanks for having me, man. I'm ready to jam out.
Of course. You know, I learned from the best. I listened to your podcast a bunch, you know. That said, Zach here, little guest bio. His name is Zach Babcock. He is the founder of Underdog Empowerment, lives in St. Louis, greater St. Louis area, specifically Lake St. Louis, correct?
Yeah, Wentzville. Yeah.
Wentzville. Grew up in psych wards, rehabs, juveniles, and did over 5 years in prison as an adult. And yes, that's kind of clickbaity. Earned his first million and scored his family's 3-acre dream home by 33, 6 years after getting out of prison. Interviewed over 350 alpha entrepreneurs, including Andy Frisella, Patrick Bet-David, Brad Leah, Grant Cardone, Sean Whalen, and more. What was inaccurate about what I said? What was accurate? And what would you like to shine a light on, Zach?
Oh man, literally it was all on point. Literally the Lake St. Louis to Wentzville could have been the only error in that whole entire
Okay.
thing. Like that was phenomenal, dude. Like
All right.
I'm gonna take notes from you on this shit.
I appreciate it. That said, can you tell us a little bit about your early life and what it was like growing up? Because one of the reasons I wanted to have you on the podcast, because I've been friends with you on Facebook for a while and met with you a few times at this point. Actually, been by your crib out in Wentzville, almost screwed up
Get
again.
it right. Get it right.
Yeah, I know. To play poker, and one of the reasons I like following you around is because I come from I was a complete shithead back in the day and really turned my life around. And so and I used to feel really insecure about it, and sometimes think about it and still do, but not nearly as much as I did. And then when I had come across you on Facebook and started following your story, one of the interesting things about you was what I just mentioned during the bio, which is your past. So tell us a little bit about your past, how you got yourself in the position you were, and all of that for starters.
Yeah, man, for sure, dude. Like you said, man, I felt like I had the worst self-esteem, the worst self-confidence issues growing up. Like, dude, I don't talk about this much on social media. I'm gonna make a post. So I got a picture. I used to be a little fat kid, dude. Like, my dad died when I was 7. I sucked all the time because like whenever I try and throw like a ball, I didn't know how to throw a ball correctly or whatever, and I get made fun of and shit like that. I didn't like get beat up or anything, so I'd always fight. Like, I mean, I got beat up in fights, but I would always fight. I didn't want like stuff like that, but I was told I sucked, whatever, all that. At school, they told me you're a shithead, you're not going anywhere, you get F's, or whatever. School counselors, fucking rehabs, all that shit or whatever. And then my mom, put me in the rehab in the psych ward when I got kicked out of there.
How old were you?
9 years old.
Okay.
And so like, I know she was doing what she thought was best for me, right? And I have no doubt about it that my mom loved me unconditionally and wanted the best for me. But when she put me in that psych ward, like that fucked me up, dude. Like that was like I dealt with serious abandonment issues. Like, damn, she just fed me to the wolves. I'm in here fearing for my fucking life 24/7 and shit.
Man,
like,
shit, you were 9.
Yeah, and felt like I wasn't good enough to be her son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So dealt with all that shit. Felt like I was never good enough.
What actions, I guess, before you were 9 kind of led to you going to the psych ward? Were you just acting up as a child, or, what was kind of going on there?
Oh, I was flying off the rails, man. Fucking, my dad died when I was 7.
Yep.
It was shortly. He died right after I moved to this new neighborhood in Ferguson, Missouri, at that or whatnot. But so I'm getting bullied when I first get there because I'm the new kid. New kid always gets picked
new kid on the block.
Shit.
Yep.
But yeah, man. I started smoking weed and just not going to school. They told me that I sucked anyways, but really it wasn't. I sucked. Like, dude, it was not engaging and it was pointless shit. Like I'm just not a person that's made for school or jobs. My first job, bro, was McDonald's at 16. I pulled a Scarface off of a Half Baked. I was like, fuck you, you're cool.
Yeah.
That was it, man. I did a bunch of door-to-door sales and all that shit after that. As far as jobs, it's my youth growing up. I could not do the punch a clock thing or go to school thing. It just wasn't me.
Yeah.
I can't
So
do it.
you get submitted to psych ward / rehab at 9 years old. How long were you in there?
So I was in rehab, I don't know, maybe close to 30 days. It was a 60-day program. Got kicked out for fighting. Was in the psych ward for like 5 days. But still, that whole
No, that's a huge thing at any age, let alone at 9 years old.
5 minutes in that motherfucker by yourself is scary as fuck at that age. But yeah, man. And then got out, got right back into the same shit, smoking weed, not going to school. And, that led to going back to juveniles and detention centers. I went to Boys and Girls Town in St. James. It's even shut down now. And the psych ward that I was in is shut down, too. So that's just to let you know how... Dude, I was
going to say, dude, did any of these places actually set you up for success
No,
you went to? And if so, what are kind of the big issues there? I mean, is it just from top down?
There is nothing helpful or good about a psych ward.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's pure fucking traumatizing as fuck. And all they do is load you up with fucking drugs and make you a zombie and fucking physically and verbally abuse you and the staff and shit. And I'm getting woken up at 3 a.m. with fucking needles in my arm and then pinning me down on my bed and shit. And they're injecting me with whatever and taking my blood. it was like, it was fucked up. It was crazy in there.
Yeah. And when I have guests on the podcast and when I watch podcasts, one of the things I hate doing is treading over ground I know for a fact another interviewer has already treaded upon. But the reason, even though I know for a fact you've been talked about this God knows how many times, I thought it was important to bring up because some of our audience is entrepreneurs and just people in general. And I think it's extremely important that, people realize that suffering is relative. Like what I think is really shitty could be, I guess, objectively way less shittier than what you've been through, but subjectively way shittier for me, even though objectively over the long scheme of things, your situation was worse.
That was a mind fuck, but I was following
You're
you along.
following?
I followed that whole thing. Like you were saying, basically, basically I could feel like, oh man, that's nothing, but it still feels even worse for you than what I actually went through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, for me, my parents lost, we were middle class, upper middle class until about 2008 when I was 15. Lost our home, me, my two sisters, my two parents, my grandparents, my cousin, and at times my uncle, and sometimes a friend of mine would live at my grandparents in a 3-bedroom house. And I thought that was real shitty. And for example, I could think that experience was way more traumatizing for me than what most people would agree that your situation is objectively way more traumatizing just based on that. And that was only a sliver of what you've been through when you were younger, And so for that reason, suffering's very relative to the person and the situation that they went through. And another reason I wanted to tread over things that have already been spoken about when you were on other podcasts and your own podcast is that not only is suffering relative, and it's extremely important to understand that and not judge people for being, pussies more or less because, your situation was so bad. There's people that's starving in Africa or what the fuck ever, which is such a stupid
bullshit.
Way of looking at things, but also that no matter what your past was like, it doesn't dictate what your future is like. Because right now, obviously, one of the reasons I'm having you on your podcast, if you were still in and out of rehab and in prison, I probably wouldn't be having you on the podcast today. You know what I mean?
That's so judgmental, bro.
I know. I'm an asshole. So, I will work on that. I will go take the podcast set up to the prison next week. But that said, you worked your way out of that situation, really worked on personal development and made something of yourself. You know what I mean? And so that's one of the reasons I wanted to tread over that, because I think it's really important that I think it's pretty safe to say that most people in St. Louis or the United States that have been in less shitty situations than you have, in my opinion. Therefore, even though suffering is relative, it's important to understand that they could go out there and do whatever the fuck they wanted with their life. And that really, even though some people are more privileged than others, for sure, just objectively speaking, that there's nothing holding them back.
But let's be real, though. Even a motherfucker that's like privileged as fuck, right? Silver spoon or whatever, and like, bam, but parents never fucking showed up in their life, not one bit. Dad missed like every single fucking practice. You know what I'm saying? Never been to one single game. Like that, like you said, man. Like I believe, man, that everybody goes through their shit, right? Their trauma, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Everybody has that shit. And you see some people going in and taking the responsibility to go and fix that shit that they went through because they didn't have no control of it when they were a kid. But it is your responsibility as an adult to go and take care of it, And some people are doing it, some people aren't. But we all got our shit, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, this is life, bro.
Yeah, it is. And so, as someone that also went through my shit, that's one thing I really, that's the reason I wanted to have you on the podcast, really, is because I went through my own shit that I thought was relatively just terrible that I worked through. So that said, I won't go over all the things in the past because, like I said, Zach's talked about it on many other podcasts, and you can Google Zach Babcock, and I'm sure you can hear the whole story. So we're going to move on to what you're working on now. So tell the audience, what is Underdog Empowerment all about? I know you have the podcast. I know you have the business side as well. You have these speaking events you started working on the past, 12 to 24 months. What do you got going on?
Yeah, man, dude. I'm fucking fired up because I just went through like a good 1.5 phase where I was kind of like I was evolving like a motherfucker, and I still had like certain things that didn't change in my vision, but as I was evolving, so was my vision, and I was I'm in a process right now, a transition phase of closing a certain season and chapters of my life and opening up new ones, and man, I'm super excited, dude. Like right now, It's gonna sound funny. I'm 34 years old with zero fighting experience, right? Like zero structured and organized fighting experience. Had got plenty of street fights and prison brawls, whatever, but nothing structured and organized, and never was like taught like fundamental shit. It was just like, hey, throw it in fire and figure it out type shit. Well, I'm training Brazilian jiu-jitsu, body screaming at me too, by the way. Fucking that shit is brutal. But
So how long have you been doing that now?
5 weeks.
5 weeks,
and
okay.
I'm absolutely obsessed with it.
How often?
Yeah, I've been trying to do 4 times a week, and that's brutal. I just ordered an ice bath, dude. Like it's
We were talking about that before the podcast. Yeah, the ice bath, and that's awesome because right now you said you do cold showers, but you're taking it to the next level with actually being able to sit in something and go to freezing temperature, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I need something to help me recover faster. Shit, dude. Like I feel like an old ass man the next day after BJJ class. I'm like, damn, I didn't know you could feel like your body could ache us that way, but it's a real deal.
Yeah. I have a question. So you've been doing it for 5 weeks, so maybe you don't have enough case study to comment on this, but how do you feel like a lot of people will say that working out is just as important as learning about business? It's like an important part of business. As you can tell, I don't listen to a goddamn word that anyone says on that front. So I'm asking you, someone who's been doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu for 5 weeks, and did you work out before that?
Oh yeah, I've been working out hardcore.
How important do you think that is for business?
Super important, dude. So for me, like it's a way to get that energy and that pent up aggression and these stored emotions and shit out. It's an outlet to get that flow through. And so you could do that with working out, but Brazilian jiu-jitsu is next level shit because you are mind, body, soul in the moment right then and there. You ain't thinking about no fucking email or acquisition or podcast or whatever. You're thinking about how the fuck do I keep this guy from choking me the fuck out, and how do I choke him the fuck out? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, and I don't know how to explain it, dude. It's crazy, but like, it's so therapeutic because like I'll be in the middle and I'm like a fucking fish out the water right now on this shit because I'm a white belt and I'm in there sometimes fighting against a brown belt, and it's so funny because they just have their way with me and shit, whatever. But you're and I just lost it. I do this shit like once on every single podcast I do. I'll be in the middle.
The last thing you said is they had their way with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just wanted to repeat that.
Specifically, that's the last thing you said.
I'd forget what I was saying too.
Oh, yeah. So like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm in the middle of this fucking chaos, right? But it's so therapeutic, and I find like a calmness, a peace, it's like I belong right here. It's like, I don't know. I wish I'd been doing it my whole life, but hey, I'm going all the fuck in now. I know I'm 34 years old. I got to make shit happen now. My goal is to win an MMA fight. So I'm
Nice.
doing a single elimination
on an amateur scale or professional scale. Like what's
amateur?
Okay.
Amateur. I just want to win an MMA fight in front of my family and have them see Dad go all in on his dreams.
So one thing you say a lot, because I've been following you enough to take notice, is you say all in a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. So what does all in mean to you?
Bro, all the fuck in, like, dude, dude, that's what the whole new chapter is. All right, so you asked me what Alpha Underdog is about, or Underdog Empowerment is about. It started as me coming out of prison, not feeling good enough, and wanting to prove those motherfuckers wrong. Boom. Okay, awesome, great, did that. What's next? And that's when I was like, fuck, there's some more shit. There's something going on with me because I'm not even feeling good anytime I would achieve a goal, feel great for all but 20 seconds. And I'm like, fuck, what's next? No fulfillment. I'm like, literally on the outside looking in, it's like, damn, this guy just moved his family out the ghetto, got a nicer house now, did a mastermind, had people all over the U.S. come there. Like, he was just in prison a few years ago. Like, he's got it going on. His brand's blowing up.
Yeah.
I was fucking miserable, though, dude. Like, I was not fucking happy at all. Like, I was like, you know what I mean? And every time I wasn't feeling good enough, so I started doing that work. And I still got a lot of backlog of trauma and shit to clear up, but I've done a lot of work since then, and I'm a lot better person because of it.
Yeah.
And so now what that has evolved into, it's not about proving those motherfuckers wrong anymore, although I love it when somebody counts me out.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, come on, doubt me if you want to. But it's about becoming that alpha underdog, all right, dominating life, everything. It's not just about business anymore. It's mind, body, soul, relationships, and finance, the whole thing, put it all together, the complete package. And so that's what Alpha Underdog is about, is helping you become that alpha underdog. It's for those guys that are alpha, like they're high achievers, right? They're kicking ass, right? But maybe they don't feel fulfilled. Maybe there's something else, and it don't even have to be a I'm not good enough thing. Maybe it's just like whatever, right? I want to help men specifically, but I also help a lot of women.
How?
By all right. So here's the things. I'm launching Alpha Underdog apparel brand. That's just an identity thing, right?
So
People
one
get to
thing's
represent,
apparel.
right? One thing's apparel. I'm keeping the mastermind, Alpha Dog Pound Mastermind. That's where I get to actually coach and help into people, and it's not going to be just, before people know me as the podcast guy, right?
Mm.
And I would help people build dominant brands with a podcast. Obviously, I got a lot of specialized knowledge in that, and I can still help people with that. But Alpha Dog Pound Mastermind isn't just that. It's the whole mind, body, soul, relationships, finance. And I'll be tapping into my network, which I got a lot of people that are doing way bigger shit than me in different areas in mind or whatever that I'm going to be bringing in to teach us so we can continue leveling up. There's a mastermind there. And then finally, the live events, Alpha Dog Pound Live, is where we bring everybody together once a year for the event.
So right now we got the podcast, apparel, live events on a big group setting, and then the more intimate, like one-on-one coaching, or is it a group setting, or
It's a mastermind, and I'm gonna cap it at 100.
mastermind?
We got 10 people in there right now. It's I'm not gonna have it though like thousands of people in the mastermind. It's gonna be capped at 100 people max.
How often
Oh,
do they get together?
Oh, every single week we get together on Zoom, and then we get together 4 times a year.
So it's a
in person.
nationwide thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
And that's headed by you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So those 4 things, that's what the empire is. So what made you come up with, obviously I assume that your past kind of helped dictate what you wanted to help people with in the present, right?
Mm-hmm.
What made you come up with that idea that you just described us? Like, what was the deciding factor on that's what I'm going to do with my life?
Because when I started working on that shit, my traumas and shit, like I used to sedate myself with drugs and put myself in dangerous situations and drugs and alcohol overdosing, going to prison and all this shit, right? And then, I missed my twin sons being born. I decided to move in the other direction, but I was doing the same shit with success, overworking the business and all this other shit, and I still wasn't happy, right? And the first time I started going inward and really working on my own shit, it's the first time I've ever had any type of release, true fucking release of that shit in my life. And I was like, this shit is real. And so I became, once you try the product and it fucking changes your life, then you become its greatest salesman, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say to those people that are in the similar circumstance you were feeling before you kind of worked through your trauma and where you're at now, putting that stuff behind you and moving forward with where you're at?
That's a really great question. And I guess really that kind of depends on that person and their unique situation. But someone that's like dealing with, if they're specifically dealing with issues of never feeling like it's enough, like you accomplish all these things, but it's not fulfilling. You're like, what the fuck?
I know,
and you're miserable.
a ton of people are for sure feeling that
Trying
every
to fill
single
a
day.
void, yeah.
Yeah, man. Dude, like you got to go and look at ask yourself, why do you feel this way? Sit with those shitty emotions that we all try to run away from and distract ourselves with. Sit with them and feel them out and validate them. Why am I feeling this way? And when you go through that process, all these answers come within. You ain't going to get this shit in a fucking mastermind. You're not going to get this shit on a podcast. You got to go.
You got to do your own work.
Yeah.
How do they start?
Yeah, we'll fucking start getting out in nature, scheduling time. Like this is what I did when I first started. I was working, and so if you're saying, well, I can't do that, I don't have enough time, bullshit. All right, so if you're at 6 figures, at least 6 figures in your business, you can do this, all right? I was working 16 to 18 hours a day, 6 days a week, sometimes 7. I was fucking, and then the times I was with my kids, I was always fucking worried about what's going on my phone. I really wasn't there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went from that to Monday through to 16 to 18 hours days to 16 to 20 hours a week. And I quickly cut off Fridays completely. I was working 12 to 4 p.m. Did this for well over a year and a half. I cranked it back up. I'm working about 6 to 8 hours a day now, but no more than 40 hours a week. But I was working well over that. But anyways, I cut off Fridays completely. And what I would do is I'd go out in nature every single Friday for like 4 to 6 hours and hike. And you don't have to do this shit, but like this is how I did it. You asked me the question.
That's what Eric does.
That's what I do. I just went to Hawn State Park last weekend, camped.
Bro.
It was 30 degrees. It was cold as hell, but I didn't give a shit.
And you
loved
life.
Absolutely, yeah. All the stresses you left at the entrance to the camp, right?
Yeah.
There's none of that shit's coming in there.
You
Turn
get to
off your phone.
decompose,
Yeah,
you know?
I sat by a creek.
Decompress.
Yes, decompress. Yeah, you sit by a creek. You don't hear people. You hear birds. You hear animals. You hear water. It's nice.
Amazing.
Do you
It's
leave
awesome.
your phone at the car? What do you do?
No, I bring it with. It depends. Like some of the Haunted State Park, I had no service. So regardless if I wanted to use my phone or not, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's 0 bars. So
Yeah. That's one thing I'm bad about. I don't spend like hardly any time in nature.
Bro,
But I have my
it'll
own way
change your
of
fucking
release.
life.
Like lately, I've been more. Admittedly,
and you're in Sunset Hills. You got spots all around you.
no, I do.
Yeah.
It's central here in St. Louis, but admittedly, I'm working back up to, admittedly, I was pretty lazy the first 4.5 years of when I started my first company in 2016, which is the marketing company Vi Media. From them in October 2016 is when we started, and till about 4.5 years later, I was admittedly half-assing things, probably working less. I mean, I was talking to people and working maybe 40 hours a week if I was lucky. But then I just heard something. At one point, I just realized that suffering now is, and now I've heard Alex Hormozy say it a lot, that basically that suffering now is a really good way of being happy later. So I've been working 16 to 20 hour days lately because I don't sleep like normal people.
Yeah.
Probably should, but I actually like not sleeping. In fact, sleeping, eating, taking a shit, pissing, all the stuff you have to do, it drives me nuts. But it does.
I like sleep. I like sleep.
I do. I haven't really thought about trying to get to a point where I'm working less hours than a regular full-time job. That's something I find interesting that you just said is you're down to like 6 to 8 hours a day, no more than 40 hours a week. How do you
get enough done?
Yeah. How do you get it all done?
Yeah, man. All right. Great question. One, dude, I'd be just like you if I didn't have kids. I'd be fucking working a lot more too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Kiddos.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend time with them because they're not gonna be this young for forever. It's the only time
True.
they're gonna be this age. But yeah, how do I get shit done? You become really fucking good at prioritizing. You know, I know any entrepreneur can relate to this. Like you have your daily checklist, you know, all your goals, and you try and cram every single fucking thing in that little box in that day that you can, and you overstuff it with all these goals and shit, right? And 80% of them are just shit you don't really need to do. It's just busy work. You think that it's really moving the needle forward, but it's a lot of shit that's not that important, right? If you really get down and you look like, hey, if I can only do one thing today, what's the absolute most important thing that I need to do today to move this business forward to reach our mission, whatever in alignment with whatever goals that we have set.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I'm not the best at this, but I asked that question and I figured, because I have all the lists down, all right, I'm like, all right, if I can only do one of these, what goes on there? Bam, I'll do that, and I'll prioritize in that order and just keep adding them to that list, and I'll go at it. And that's gotten me to get really good at delegating and obviously just prioritizing what's most important and getting the most important work done.
What do you find that a lot of people do that is a time waste, that is just something to check off, but it's, like you said, not moving the needle forward? What do you find that most people do that spend a lot of time?
We should go and update the headline on this, and we should go and do that. Like, yeah, I get it. You do need to make tweaks, like if you're running ads or some shit, and you got to, if you're getting ready to run a marketing campaign or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But people like to go and play with their website too much, or go and fucking do something that's not it depends on where you're at right now in the business. Like if you're like, oh shit, we need to go out and grow and bring in some new revenue, well, then you need to focus on income producing activities.
Sales. Yeah.
If you're overwhelmed with fucking sales and your systems are shit, you need to
ops. Yeah.
Kill the marketing off a little bit, like dial it down a little bit and optimize. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is that you're going through at that time.
Gotcha.
Sure. Well, yeah, that's something. One thing you said is that I think is actually a really good piece of advice for absolutely anyone. Is I feel a lot of business owners, and this myself has been a problem since before I started my first business. Is you said that sometimes you'll just focus on getting one thing done a day. And I feel like that's actually a really good piece of advice, because sometimes people have this problem, and it's something we just solved recently in our operations at Vi Media, well, across all our companies, because we use a project management software. So all the tasks are organized. There's basically, we use Monday.com. It's a project management software, and we have Inbox.
Shout out. We're looking for sponsors.
Yeah. So we have...
they got an affiliate program.
Yeah,
there we go.
we have it organized to where there's this area called inbox. So anytime you come up with an idea, so let's say it's like 1:15 p.m. on a work day, you come up with an idea or realize that something needs to be fixed or done, whatever, you put it in inbox. Then at the end of every day around 4:50 to 5 p.m. before you leave to go home, you then go back into Monday and you take whatever you put in inbox throughout that day, and then you either put it in now, which is things that need to be completed same day or the next day, soon, which is things that need to be completed before the end of that week, or later, which is things that need to be completed at any point in time in the future. And then, of course, you have the completed section.
Don't look at my Monday.
Yeah. And if we look at Eric's right now, it's filled with now things that are way older than 2 days. So, but yeah, lots of
Forgot
people.
my login.
Yeah, that's
Lots
right.
of people have this big,
Reset the password.
lots of entrepreneurs have these heaping piles of to-dos that need to be done. And
I'm thinking about him right now, and I'm stressing out.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
podcast.
and that's what
Let's
happens.
Change the subject.
Let's go on a fucking hike.
Yeah.
So
Where's the nearest trail? Let's get the fuck
they
out
have
of
these
here.
heaping piles of to-dos that need to be done as an entrepreneur, and it's overwhelming because instead of just looking at one thing that is very easy to look at and very manageable, they look at this list of 100, and it gets so overwhelming, like Eric's, just getting stressed thinking about it, for example, that they end up doing nothing because they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And so a really good piece of advice you just threw out there is like, if nothing else, just pick one thing and get it done that day, which is pretty much how we just ended up changing our operations, is where the now section, you only felt with max 2 to 3 items that need to be completed today or the next day. And everything else just is organized in a different area where you don't even have to fucking look at it. Because if you did look at it, it would get in the way of you getting anything done at all whatsoever.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you have something to where you incentivize them if they get through the now and then start digging into those other buckets?
No. But that's a good idea. And so I will implement that tomorrow. Now there's going to be actually after this podcast.
Here we go.
Katie knows. I'll bring everyone into the big room, and then we'll talk about it after this podcast.
Yeah, but
that's not a
then
bad
we start
idea.
creating
I'm not-
easy now tasks, right?
What'd you say, Katie?
I'm not excited about it.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be
I
a
won't say
meeting. Let
anything else.
everyone know.
Create a Monday task right now
Yeah,
and
to have
now
the
to
meeting.
have the meeting about the now. Yes.
Yes.
There we go.
Just don't send it in Eric's because
Yeah.
it's
Check.
overflowing.
Check something off the list.
So
Task
yeah,
done.
knocking
Now I'm
out
less stressed.
knocking out one thing a day minimum, and not looking at anything else is actually a really good way to dumb it down.
I mean,
Hell
that's
yeah, man.
isn't that good advice though? Not only just for business, but just in life. You're feeling depressed, like
100%.
like the biggest, like Jordan Peterson. Anyone, it's always like make your bed, right? Like
Yep.
get up, make your bed.
That
do
one
do
action.
one action. Yeah, that it is good for you and also is going to make you feel good. You got that one thing done, then obviously you're more likely to do something after that.
That
I
shit
mean,
compounds,
Yep.
man. I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah.
Dude.
So I'm going to start bringing up, we could talk about you all day long in an awesome way, but let's move on to controversial topics because
Okay.
Zach is actually someone we could do this with. So I joked about it before the podcast, and if you don't want to talk about it because it's controversial, I can just edit this whole thing out. That said, one thing I like about you is I believe you talk about God a little bit.
Mhm.
That's one thing. It's actually part of my goal, and for some reason I just haven't done it yet. I think I only mentioned God on like 1 or 2 Facebook posts so far, but that's like one thing I like about you. That's one thing I like about Joey Yak a lot, because in this day and age, for some reason, the Christians are the weirdos now instead of the people who don't believe in God.
Yet you can have like these transgenders and these fucking like devil worshippers and shit on TV and promote it like it's fucking normal. But if you put Jesus out there, you're fucking wrong and you're offending people, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's something I have noticed is that, I'm not trying to say all Christians are good people at all whatsoever. Everyone's like equally shitty or good. That said, Christianity, even if you don't believe in it and you just read the Bible for an educational purpose or to help dictate a moral compass, is a really good thing. As long as, there's some things that are questionable, I would say, in the Old Testament, but if you stick to New Testament learnings, there are some really good things in there that could help dictate a moral compass. So I find it really odd that in this day and age, it's almost like what's happening in the world is almost really spot on with like what the Bible says about like end of times type shit is a lot of the stuff we're like seeing play out today. But another thing that's even, more controversial per se is that I do like about you is that you speak your mind on social media. And I'm a big believer on the marketing side of things that if you try to appeal to everyone, you appeal to nobody.
Right.
That's one thing why Trump was so successful running as a politician, is that he didn't make the mistake of trying to appeal to everybody, which Obama did do very successfully. Obama, I don't care for any politician, but Obama was so charismatic. It's easily the most charismatic president I've seen any clips of ever. I obviously wasn't alive back in the day, so maybe someone more charismatic existed back then. But that was his thing, is he was really good at appealing to everyone because he was so charismatic, although he had his fair share of haters. Where on the other end, you had Trump, who had no problem taking a very hard stance and was almost purposefully polarizing, was part of his marketing campaign and what helped him become president, for example, whether you like him or don't like him or whatever.
He also makes fun of everyone, which is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, no.
Just calling people with small hands.
He has nicknames for everyone. It's actually really entertaining.
Yeah, he's entertaining.
But one thing you said, for example, on social media was it was either there's only two genders or there's only two sexes, and posted that, for example.
It's true.
And so for that, when did you decide you were going to be unapologetically yourself? Were you ever not unapologetically yourself? Or what helped push you to be yourself and speak your mind on your personal brand?
Yeah, all right. So that's a great question. I grew up, man, like I said, low self-esteem, low self-confidence. I wanted to fit in so bad. Like, I would do stupid shit that was against my morals and values and shit just to be accepted by other people and shit all throughout my adolescence and in early adulthood. And it really stopped about halfway through my prison sentence when I did 4 years, a little bit over 4 years flat. It stopped when I lost my sister to a heroin overdose. It's a long fucking story, but I was in the hole for prison tattoos, and I was down there for 60 days, and about 2 weeks into it, I got called back, and they told me my sister died from a heroin overdose.
Sure.
My mom found her dead on the floor for needle and shit, and so I went through this whole, like, dark little phase and healing shit down in the hole or whatever, and when I came out the hole, I no longer fucking wanted to, I could say no, like the dude, like, hey man, let's go fucking hit this up or whatever, doing something stupid in prison. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I'm not doing that shit. You know, it'd be that was the first time I could just tell people no without feeling like, bam, well, what if they don't like me if I say no and shit? Like, I really had that shit. So I was harping on that for a minute. So that was that. And then in my personal brand, when I came out, I was scared to talk about, stuff that we're talking about today, because I was like, man, if people know that I've been to prison and shit, they won't take me seriously, and I'm not going to be able to feed my family because I can't get a job anywhere because I'm a convicted felon. If they find out I'm, a convicted felon and as an entrepreneur, nobody's going to, that was a limiting belief that I had to break through and deal with. And a mentor of mine, Mitch Miller, helped me break through it when I joined his mastermind in 2018.
Yeah. What did he say that helped you break through that and start being, speaking your truth?
It just wasn't nothing one thing specifically. It's just his overall body of content, and like being in his mastermind, he's a copywriter or whatnot. And he has this playbook that literally changed the game for me, really opened up my eyes. So it's called Facebook Domination. He wrote it back in 2018 and stuff. But man, it's just like, it shows you like positioning. It's all about positioning, how you position yourself. And it really helped me understand about positions. Like, oh, wait a minute. If I share the shit in my story, the mess and shit, that's what people want to hear. They want to hear the struggle you went through and how you overcame it and shit like that. For sure. And then they want to hear about, struggles that you're currently going through, or funny shit, or personal shit, not just business or whatever, or your actual thoughts and beliefs about shit, your truth.
They want to hear that way more than about the business boring shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you share something that's not sharing it to just try to be polarizing, but it's something that you actually truly fucking stand on or stand against, whatever. I don't know why, but people like hearing about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah, you said something that really resonates with me, even just bringing this up right now and asking you that question.
I know why it resonates. Sorry.
No, go ahead. What do you got?
It goes back to what we were saying beforehand about going outside. And also just like the aspect of sitting around a table or sitting around a family room table or a dining room table, eating dinner with your family and not having the phones. It's the connection.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, it's common ground.
Yeah.
That's also why it pisses a lot of people off.
Yeah.
And what I was saying is in 2023, even just asking you that question, even though I'm not speaking my beliefs because I'm a coward still, that makes me worried. Like in this day and age, people are so like with the cancel culture.
I'll cancel you, Garrett.
Yeah, well, sure enough, I probably will be just for saying whatever I said today. So that said,
Yeah, because you wouldn't interview me because if I was in rehab and shit still or something.
yeah.
Cancel him.
Take it
So-
back.
But like in 2023, it's even scary just like having someone on the podcast who has beliefs that you do or don't share with just because people get upset that, oh, you associate with this person. You gave this person airtime when they hold a belief I don't agree with. So fuck you. I'm going to A, talk shit on you, B, not engage with your content in a positive way at all whatsoever, ever again. Even though, like, let's say you do have one belief that is just objectively wrong, bad.
Yeah.
That
Everybody does.
for some reason, in this day and age, that means that all the good things you do are out the fucking window.
Canceled because
just
you got
gone
this one.
That's one thing.
because
yeah.
you did one thing wrong. Even worse than that, most of the time it's not even something you did objectively wrong. It's just something you did subjectively wrong, something someone else believes is wrong. It contradicts their opinion, but it isn't objectively or morally incorrect at all whatsoever. It's just subjectively bad to a few people.
Against their opinion.
So
yeah.
therefore,
It's
that's
a big ass
enough to
fucking
get
rabbit
you.
hole.
It's terrible.
yeah.
And so the fact that I even have to like sit here and worry, okay, well, if I ask Zach this question, or even worse so than, agree with Zach on something that a large group of people have a very strong belief about, I have to, pay the consequences, so to speak. And it's such a weird vibe and time we're living in 2023 where people can't just accept other people's opinions. In fact, I'd be happy if even if they didn't accept the opinions, they would just stay quiet. Because like my belief, this isn't my full belief, but like part of my belief on like transgender and all of any subject like that that's polarizing is like,
It's not
I don't give a
normal.
fuck. It's none of my business. I don't give a shit as long as people aren't objectively harming me with their words, opinions, or lifestyle, and like it's not affecting me in a negative way. Why do I give a fuck? You know what I mean?
I said what I said about it because here's the deal: you got fucking dumbass companies like Bud Light, fucking like, and all these companies forcing that shit down your throat like it's normal. All right, if you want to go do it, that's fine. We live in America; it's freedom of choice. I'm all about that, right?
Yeah,
I got the freedom of choice to say, hey, that shit's not normal, and it's not.
you do.
It's not normal, but you could do it.
Now,
But
when
hey,
you
I
say
said, don't try
normal-
and take away my choice to be able to fucking speak my free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
When you say normal, what do you mean?
Like a boy and a boy fucking is not normal. A girl and a girl fucking is not normal. Like it's a man and a woman that should be fucking and make a baby. Like,
Where do you
that's
take
normal.
that belief from?
Just from biology and
Fine,
science
okay.
and shit like that.
If you don't mind, I want to jump in real quick. How much backlash or hate have you received from like that one comment?
Oh man, so yeah, people get ticked off, but here's the deal though, man. Like you're gonna piss off some people, but those ain't my people anyway. If you're the type of person that's gonna get like fucking offended by some words, one, you're a fucking idiot. Like I got so many people that I don't agree. Like I got gay friends, and I don't think that shit's right, but I got gay friends. You know what I'm saying? Like I got plenty of people that I don't agree with their beliefs, but I learn from them all the fucking time, and I don't hate them as a person. You know what I'm saying? I just don't fucking agree with their belief on that.
That
you know? And
that
we're okay.
That statement I agree with 100%, and that's like my big beef with the society right now is that like you saying that I don't 100% agree with that statement. Like my fiance's bi, for example. So I have very strong opinions on that specific thing in regards to homosexuality and bisexuality and all that. And obviously, just because I love her to death, I would never say anything terrible about that. That said, you saying that doesn't make me want to say, hey, fuck you, my fiance's bisexual, get the fuck off the podcast type thing. And that's what's wrong with society right now is people can't hear that and then just get along. And in fact, if it feels to me, and call me a conspiracy theorist, whatever, or some other dismissive term like crazy or something, to your own point, it does feel like a lot of this is being pushed down society's throat. And it doesn't
divide
make
people.
sense to even do that from a business standpoint. Let's take Bud Light, for example. Like they're not stupid. They know for a fact their audience isn't a
Well,
significant
did you
portion.
see the interview with the head of marketing for that campaign specifically?
No.
She was talking about how they were trying to change Bud Light's image away from like frat boys and stuff like that. I'm like, We're talking about a beer that's been represented by America forever. It was
Hardworking, middle class American.
It was just
Yeah.
like
guys.
we know who
Right here in
drinks
St.
Bud
Louis.
Light. Yeah, hard workers. They get off work.
Fuck you,
they,
InBev.
like what? It's not that complicated on
doesn't
who
even
drinks Bud Light, and it's like why even do it?
Well,
and where did it come from also as well? Because it's like I don't know. You
Isn't
think
it
people in
weird?
marketing would just have some sort of discussion? It's like they don't even have the discussion.
No, they
There's
do.
no
This
discussion.
is what
Or-
I'm saying. This is why I said call me a conspiracy theorist, and
I
then
was just
Zach, I'll
getting ready.
pass it to you.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
was,
they
I was
did-
about
they
to say
did
this
have
goes
the-
conspiracy.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
It
the
does.
thing is, they
Yeah.
do have these discussions, and then that brings into question the motive. The motive wasn't to make money. Surely, you didn't have
they
to
lost
know that
hundreds
if you
of millions
put
of stock value.
you didn't
yeah.
have to know. And this is not me hating on transsexual people. Again, I don't give a shit what you do. Just as long as you're not harming me, my family, my friends, etc. I
Or
don't
shoving
care.
it down my throat.
But like they had a discussion. In that discussion, no one thought to themselves, I just can't believe that anyone thought to themselves in that boardroom that this is going to blow up and make us a bunch more money. Like they couldn't have thought to themselves, this is going to make us $6 billion more dollars, not lose us $6 billion more dollars. So that brings into the question the motive. They're not stupid. This is one of the largest companies out there. They knew that there'd be repercussions, but they did it anyways. And I feel like that's what a lot of these companies do. They have these meetings. They probably know this is going to have a bunch of backlash and probably lose them money, but they force it into their marketing, their content, their TV show, their movie, whatever, despite the fact that they know it is going to be a net negative on their bottom line. So what fucking motive is there?
I think they're also part clueless though. They're still caught up in this whole cancel culture woke. I think they do think that it's going to come off across well. I literally think
Maybe.
they did. They had like that's part of the problem though. They thought that it was going to come off well. I actually think that based on the conversation with her, they literally thought this was a good idea. They thought this was a good marketing campaign. They thought this was going to turn out well, and that it was, yeah.
It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like I'm gonna agree with what you're saying here, and they didn't do. They're trying to please everyone.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to
Exactly.
be Barack Obama instead of
Yep.
Donald Trump.
But the people you're trying to please, though, they're not the ones that are
They
going to
drink-
buy your product.
They don't drink your beer.
You're
Yeah.
pandering to the
They're drinking
lowest common
Starbucks,
denominator
bro.
people that don't give a shit what you're selling. And then what? You pissed off your loyal customers because they don't like you anymore because you're trying to shove random shit down their throat. But then you have the people that won't buy your product anyway, so you gain nothing.
Yeah.
You
Did they
lose
think-
money.
Do they think transgender people were going to go out and just start buying Bud Light? I don't.
That's what they think. So here's what I was going to say, and this is of all age groups. It's twice this in age groups under 30 years old. So since 2012 to 2022, the population of people that are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or something other than heterosexual has more than doubled from half of 7.2% to 7.2%. And now just about double that to about 14 to 15% for people that are under 30 years old. So the amount of people that are identifying as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or something other than heterosexual has doubled since 2012. And that number is doubled that about 14 or 15% for age groups less than 30 years old. And then this brings into question a couple things, like if the LGBTQIA plus community believe the reason for that is that the society is now more accepting of that. So more people are able to say they identify as that, but they were always there. That's one theory. Then another theory, which is just psychology
Indoctrinated.
and science, is that it's being put into media more often so that it's
Pride
part
Month.
of it's
Let's
not me
force
saying,
it down your month.
What
The
about
whole month
well-
we're gonna celebrate gay people. Like why?
What do they do at school? So your kids are in school. What are they in private? Are they in public?
Public and
So,
I don't really. Yeah,
Do you know what they're teaching there? Because I think I forget who Garrett and I were talking to, but they pulled their kid out of school because they were talking about what we're talking about right now to like a 7-year-old. It's like they have.
They don't need to be talking about.
Well, it's
that,
like they don't
dude.
even know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
They literally have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, when you talk about that, so everyone wants to be one of my theory on, first off, just so it's known for the audience, my theory is that it's a bit of both. There's probably a lot of people who did not come out back in the day because it wasn't
it's gotta
publicly
be both, yeah.
acceptable.
Yeah.
And then also, and then this is a fact, this isn't my opinion, it is psychology and science, which I've studied this subject tremendously, is if you are taking witness in TV shows, movies, music, etc., LGBTQIA plus related topics all the time in a positive way, you just hearing it and looking at it repeatedly is going to increase the chance that you eventually identify in that way yourself. So it is a bit of both, definitely. Because there's plenty of people that still won't come out of the closet that are definitely gay because they just don't feel comfortable and they're worried about judgment. And undoubtedly, society being more accepting of that is going to cause that population to go up. And then, of course, science tells us if you're being told about all these things constantly, that's going to have more people. So it is a bit of both. One thing that I find really hard is that, like to think about, is that people want to feel special, even adults, even old people, 60 plus. They want to feel like they have belonging, security, safety, and that they're special, and especially
Love
young
and
people.
connection, the 6 human needs, Tony Robbins shit.
And kids
That's
especially.
for real.
Kids especially, they want to feel special. So one of my problems with, I think it's very important that our young adults and kids across the country are educated and know what type of world they're living in. However, I find it very hard to believe that talking about these topics to the extent that they are in schools and some of the legislation being passed across the country and educational curriculum changes are since kids want to feel special, and since being LGBTQIA plus is special because you're part of a smaller population, that almost encourages children to identify as such, if that makes sense.
Did you guys hear about that news story? There was like a kid who I think was in elementary school, and the teacher was helping the student transition.
The mom was in the hospital, yeah.
The mom had no idea.
Yeah.
For like years.
The teacher was doing what?
Helping the child, the student,
Well, here's the
transition,
story.
like become transgender.
Yeah, so there's
and the
this
parent
mom.
had no idea.
The mom was in the hospital, and while the mom was in the hospital, I forget what she was in the hospital for, the kid talked to the school counselor, and the school said, I'm not well, the kid learned about transgenders and all this stuff, which brought up questions. So the kid goes to the school counselor while the mom's in the hospital and not very engaged in their kid's life and says, I'm not so sure about my sexuality. And so there's actually legislations in other countries and in some states in the United States where the schools, quite literally, upon hearing that, almost have to provide them with options to transition and stuff like that. So in this particular case, while the mom was not very involved in the kid's life because she was going through it in the hospital with whatever she was dealing with, the school counselor or teacher, whatnot, basically helped the kid transition without the mom even knowing.
What do you mean
about
helped
this.
him? Would it snip his dick
No,
off?
I
or
Like
don't.
medication, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
no.
I don't know if they gave him like tea or like, I don't know.
I don't believe they did the surgery, but it was the
Yeah.
medication. Yeah.
And I
And
wanna say it was
without
for, like, a
parents'
couple years.
consent or any, and even with parents' consent, that shit's fucked up. It like didn't
Right.
like,
No, the mom had no idea. And
dude,
the mom,
like those people should be fucking
But
like
then my thought
life
prison.
sentence. Life sentence.
is, how does the parent not notice?
Yeah.
Granted, if she was in the hospital, but also, like,
Probably not a.
Probably
never
not a
mind.
good parent.
Yeah,
Probably no.
Right,
It's for
like-
real.
I mean,
Yeah.
regardless of,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
regardless,
even
the
I was-
teacher shouldn't
yeah.
have done that.
No, that
Yeah.
should not have been done at all.
So just bring it back here to a point of why is this a problem in school specifically? Let me just give you top countries in terms of testing scores. Mathematics. The United States is ranked 38th. We got China, Singapore, Macau, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, Estonia, Netherlands, Poland, Switzerland, Canada, Denmark, Slovenia, blah, 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 blah.
All right, so
how
hold on,
Science,
real quick. Here's
science 19, reading 13.
Where are you
So
going?
we're not even in the top 10 for any of the basics of schooling. Meanwhile, we're spending time on this bullshit.
yeah. Like
When the United States should be focused on being the best.
I just wanted to point out one thing because this is super controversial, and we'll go right back to it. When when people say Asians are really good at math, those stats back that shit the fuck up. So
They
quit
do.
trying to say that.
Yeah. Well, if they
They
say
work harder.
Because
They
you just
also
named off
work
all
harder.
Asian
Yeah.
countries that were dominating the mathematics on that.
yeah,
on that
when
list.
people say it with certain wording and context, it can be inherently racist, obviously.
Well, you
But if you just pull up statistics, go over it, and say it in a way that isn't offensive,
oh,
it
they
doesn't mean
understand
it's
math
not
really good,
true.
or they're
Yeah.
being taught math really good, but
Yes.
they dominate in that category.
It's like Kanye. Kanye, he said some really fucked up shit, but what he should have stuck to saying is, statistically speaking, according to this chart, Jewish people are heads of these companies. Instead, he decided to say in a way that was inherently racist, and that was the problem. And that's another thing that's a really good point you bring up, is that there's a lot of things that are statistically true. There's a lot of things that are true according to science that we are just now saying is fiction or refusing to accept as fact because it's offensive according to I don't know who. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, and going back to your point, man, like why the fuck are they even like pushing this shit down in schools anyways whenever you're not even fucking meeting, you know what I'm saying? You're not even in the top 10 and none
why
of
are
that
you
shit.
wasting time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to your thing, like this conspiracy thing, like you wanna know what I think about the whole fucking shit, man?
What?
I think like there's like this whole global like the World Economic Forum. You ever heard of that
Yes.
shit or whatever?
It's scary shit.
That scary shit, bro. And not only that, like all this shit's like this globalist shit, right? They're trying to make this one currency, one
are.
government, socialist fucking shit. Like
Yep.
that doesn't work, right?
It's
Socialism,
communism, but yeah.
communism and
Also, we
socialism.
rent everything. We rent homes. We'll rent our
Dude,
cars. We won't own anything. Nothing will be owned.
You know what they did and me and my daughter like had a talk about this. I had to let her know that hey, I wasn't trying to put you down, but they had them do a project in school where they had to imagine a world where everybody got paid the same and nobody was starving, and like they try to pump up all the good aspects of it. And then I started asking her questions like, yeah, well, what if you worked your fucking ass off and you did all these things, but you create this amazing thing, but you don't get you get a little $5 an hour or whatever. Like they're trying to indoctrinate.
Well, that's why the United States is still the best. I mean, you got China and all these other countries, but at the end of the day, the money is here. The best brains are here, and also in China, you create something. The CCP owns that company, just like Alibaba, for example. I mean, they got that guy. I forget
his name too.
But he said something about the CCP. I forget what it was. It was over COVID. And this guy was one of the richest dudes in the world, Jack Ma. Jack Ma. And he essentially disappeared. He was like gone for a while. And then he came back. He said, essentially, sorry, I like China. And but he's still like not back in charge of Alibaba. Like China essentially took it. The CCP is running that company now.
And that's what's happening with all these other companies. Like
that's why they want to come here, the United States.
is the same way. It's just we're a lot better at propaganda than other countries.
Well, you know what, man? Like I think, like, dude, if you look at every single system, it's all designed to keep.
You're saying if you start a company in China, you're as good as in the United States? That doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm not saying this is as bad, but I mean, it's very similar here. Just look at the Twitter files on what they were doing with Twitter.
I'm just talking about like building businesses. You still got Silicon Valley still doesn't take like they don't want Chinese money. They don't like taking outside money out from the United States because then China has influence over important technical countries.
Now we're getting above my pay grade on knowledge, and I might be too ignorant on that. That's a little high level for me.
I want to ask this though, kind of going back to this whole fucking conspiracy shit, right? Why is every single system that we have designed to keep us weak and confused? Like literally, our food system, it's got to be FDA approved. That means it's got to have chemicals and pesticides.
It's
and
got to be
that,
shitty. Yeah.
It's got to have shit that processed food, shit that literally kills you and is not good for you. Why is our medical system? It's all pharmaceutical chemicals that are designed to treat a symptom and not the root cause. Why is our school system so fucking outdated and teaching shit to keep you to conform and fucking work in a laboratory and say yes and be told what to do and shit?
Yep.
Why is every single fucking system you could think about designed to keep you weak and confused? Why are they trying to push down propaganda to confuse you with this LGBT, all this shit, man? Like,
well, what changed?
Yeah.
Because United States used to be, or was it always like this?
I think this has been going on for years.
No,
it's been a war for longer than we've been alive.
So I can comment on this. Not that I know the exact answer because it's a very, very big topic that you brought up there because that's basically the way of the world you're talking about. But when I was, and Eric knows this all too well, when I was 17 to about 21, I was very big into conspiracy theories, looking at ones that are probably true, ones that are definitely not true, ones that are, all the way from reptilian shapeshifters and aliens down to, the world's not corrupt at all. It's just fine. You're overthinking it. And I actually got so far deep into it that I ended up becoming a Freemason. And so at 19, I became part of Lodge 313 Merrimack in Eureka, Missouri.
Shout out.
And shout out to my brothers. And I went from being indoctrinated into Freemasonry to a Master Mason, 3rd degree Master Mason, within, I think, a 6-month to 8-month timeline, which is really, really fast. It used to take like 8 years to go from 1st degree to 3rd degree, but it's not, I would say, based on what I while I was there, I found out it's not as serious as it definitely used to be. But to answer a question, first off, of how long this has been going on, this has been going on since before the United States was even founded.
So forever.
This has been going on and
world
the tenets,
powers.
The tenets of Freemasonry go all the way back to ancient Egypt, for example. But the United States was actually founded after all the things Zach is talking about were established. Like this was all established in Europe. And then we founded the United States of America, broke off from Great Britain or whatnot, Europe essentially, and founded the United States. And all these things, because one of the things you said in that big statement was why are they feeding us shit? Well, that has to do with the fact that Big Pharma likes to make money, and if we're all sick and fucked up, Big Pharma is going to make a lot of money. So what they do is they make us, they've essentially made us live longer, which is great, but we're also unhealthy. So they just, look at a human.
This seems short term though. What's long term? Does that mean what?
Long term is
there's
reducing
no need for humans?
In my opinion, as crazy as it sounds,
The AI bots are taking over.
well, the AI is something that's completely fucked up my vision of where we're headed.
Well, Joe Rogan jokes about it, which I think is hilarious. We're all going to turn into this one organism, non-sexual. No one's going to have any penises, vaginas, etc. It's going to be
identity.
one thing, and there's going to be no sex.
Wow.
I don't know how
suck.
that works.
That would suck.
That would suck very much. I hope I'm dead before AI takes over and all that. But but yeah, on the subject of conspiracy theories and all that, I just think that the answer to why things are the way they are is there's Freemasons, and then there's all these other groups very similar to them. Freemasons is just the largest and oldest fraternal organization in the whole world. But there's also all these other organizations, and some of them collude from time to time, and some never collude together, and some have this goal and some have that goal, and they all have tons of money and very powerful and rich people involved. And so when you have all these different groups with some with similar interests, some with competing interests, some that have these values, and some that are young organizations, and some that are old, you have what we have today, where you have this big clusterfuck of super powerful, rich groups of people and individuals that are surely operating on an independent basis rather than in a group setting, that are trying to influence things one way or another. And I feel like that's finally come to a breaking point in America and the world at large, where you have so many different groups and subgroups of people and beliefs, and now with social media, everyone's able to talk about it, and everyone's able to put different types of propaganda meant to push you in a different direction in your face, and it's led to this whole conquer by divide and conquer mentality that the powers that be are basically using to more or less, as bad as it sounds, suppress us and keep us divided, because if we're divided, then we can't really come together and make meaningful change that's good for the little guy, or people like us who are most likely, of course, I'm going to shoot for the stars, but most likely never going to have Jeff Bezos money, for example. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Would you say most people could quit social media and it would benefit their life?
Yeah, 100%. If there was a button I could press that would get rid of social media right now, even though the negative effects it would have on my business, I would slam that button so fast.
So you could quit
phones altogether.
All of it. Just get rid of it.
But you could quit
Let's go back to the
social media.
1990s. That tech right there was perfect. Nothing
email,
more. Yeah.
No, getting to a point. I was listening to a podcast and they were a few different people, a few different times they had on. They were talking about how they got off social media, and they use social media for their business, but essentially they just have someone else. They create the post. They don't even look
That'd
at
be
it.
nice.
They don't have the login. And every single time someone brings this up, they say their life dramatically improves by quitting social media,
Bro.
It's all like a game, because you compare yourself to other people, but then also getting back to maybe a conspiracy with social media and being pushed on everyone is that takes away from the discussion we're having right now, going back to like the boardroom at Bud Light. If that marketing person were to maybe have an outside group of friends and you were to bring that up to real people and have a real discussion, you're sitting at a bar table, whatever, you don't have your phones out, and you bring that marketing idea up, someone's going to be like, are you out of your fucking mind? But that it doesn't happen because those discussions just don't happen. And on social media, it's not personal. So you can say something on social media and someone will get pissed. You say it in real life sitting here, and then you can have an honest conversation about it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, today we got to talk about, this was definitely, we're all going to be canceled. So, let's end it on a good note. Today we did not get to finish talking about climate change, gun control laws, immigration, race and relations.
Oh, we didn't get to talk about Biden saying he's running again.
Biden, Donald Trump, Kanye, Elon Musk, all these wonderful things. That said, Zach, before we wrap up today's episode, what social media profiles, business of yours, etc., would you like to plug for the audience to go out and follow to learn more about you?
Yeah, man. Come check out the podcast and on my social media. It's on underdogempowerment.com. All it's on there. And if you just want to go straight to the social media, my handle is real Zach Babcock on all social media.
Okay. Well, one, thank you very much for coming on today. I'm glad the first half we got to learn a little bit more about you, let the audience know who you were, and in the second half, just completely slay it.
That was good. That was good. It was
Completely
fun.
slay.
That was a fun time.
It was.
was.
I'm glad we got to speak some truth,
Yeah, man.
That said, Zach, Eric, that's all the time we have for you today. However, the St. Louis podcast will be back next week at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time with a new episode, new guest, and unfortunately more of your host, Eric Brown, and myself, Garrett Atkins. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live or later and we said something wrong, said something you hate, surely we did today, or said something you want to hear more about, you can visit us at stlouispodcast.com and leave us a message telling us all about it. Finally, this episode was recorded at Half Coast Studios in St. Louis, Missouri. If you're looking to start a podcast or take your current podcast to the next level, whether you're local to St. Louis or walking on the Great Wall of China, reach out to them at halfcoaststudios.com. Zach, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today and a pleasure hosting this podcast with you, Eric Brown. We'll see you again next week, Friday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay classy, St. Louis.
Peace.
Hey there, St. Louis podcast listeners. We've got some exciting news from our sponsor, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Lee. Mark Lee of Farmers Insurance is recruiting agency owners here in St. Louis.
That's right, Garrett, and everyone knows what Farmers Insurance is, and if they don't, they will now.
Yes, it's kind of a household name. That said, as many of you know, a large part of our audience is made up of badass business owners, entrepreneurs, and top producing sales professionals with an open mind like yourself. Farmers Insurance is currently searching for driven individuals who aspire to own their own business or already own their own business and want to add another income stream to join the Farmers Insurance brand and own their own insurance agency.
This is a stellar opportunity to build your own insurance agency from scratch, take over an existing agency, or if you're just a slow roller, we know you, the guys out there and ladies, get paid to train under an existing successful agency owner before starting your own.
Holy shit, Eric. That means that whether you have experience as a business owner or you've never heard the word business before in your life, there's a pathway to owning your own business through Farmers Insurance Agency led by Mark Lee.
That's right. You can become a Farmers Insurance business owner even if you've been homeless in the past, just like you.
Yeah, thanks.
If you've ever dreamt of being your own boss, building a team under a reputable brand, and making a difference in your community by offering top-tier auto, home, and commercial insurance to consumers and businesses in your area, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the godlike man himself, Mark Lee, has the perfect opportunity for you.
Visit insurancecareerstl.com to speak with Mark Lee, the district manager of Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, to become a Farmers Insurance insurance agency owner today.
Did you hear that, St. Louis? Go visit insurancecareerstl.com. Insurancecareerstl.com. That is INSURANCE, career, CAREERSTL.com.
To become a business owner today, again, one more time, visit insurancecareerstl, as in St. Louis.com today. Right now, this second, or reach out to us at stlouispodcast.com and we'll introduce you to Mark Lee ourselves. And I promise he won't spell out insurance and career to you.
Now back to the show.